Most PTE tips online are already outdated. And today, Miss Charmaine, a certified PTE coach from English Charlie, will help us understand what are the challenges in PTE this 2026 para maiwasan nating mag-fail sa ating PTE exam. Sa interview series na ito, pag-uusapan natin ang ilang bagay kagaya ng PTE Update 2026, templates na gana pa nga ba? At pangatlo, ano nga ba ang mas best para sa'yo? Mag-self-study or guided study with coaching? Yan ang ilan sa i-discuss natin sa interview na ito. Welcome to the channel, Miss Charmaine. Please introduce yourself and English Charlie.
Hello everyone. Hello sa ating mga kabayan. Hello Sir Eric. Thank you for inviting me today. My name is Charmaine po. Second time around, I'm with you for today. I'm one of the PTE trainers at English Charlie. I'm also a superior scorer who has been training a lot of Filipino students and other nationalities achieve their target score in PTE academic.
So let's start sa ating interview, Miss Charmaine, kasi maraming nagtatanong sa atin ito na mga ka-skilled workers. What is the most important PTE 2026 change that most Filipino skilled workers don't know about yet?
Hmm, that's a good question po. I think ang major one na nangyari was last year pa actually. Although I have to emphasize pa din kasi I think most test takers po or our students don't understand it yet fully. So ano ba 'yun? So purely memorizing a template is almost basically dead na. Okay? Content kasi is now being human checked. This is the biggest shift na masasabi ko. So ano ba yung naging changes? Okay, so let's look at speaking first. 'Di ba ang speaking kasi may tatlong criteria para mabigyan ka ng score. So una, kailangan may fluency, pangalawa may pronunciation na maayos and content. Before, lahat ng speaking questions, lahat ng scoring criteria sa speaking questions na nabanggit ko na tatlo, purely AI scored siya. But so dati kung purely AI scored siya, medyo predictable po yung patterns, 'no? So masasabi natin na kahit anong template nagwo-work. But now, since the AI or the computer program, they still check naman yung fluency, pronunciation, and content. Pero ang ginawa ni Pearson, pagdating po sa content na criteria, pinapasa na nila sa isang human checker. Chine-check muna siya ng AI and then afterwards, yung content na criteria, kailangan mo nang tignan din ng human checker. We call it or they call it double scoring. Okay? So, bakit ba siya chine-check ng isang human? Kasi chine-check na nila ngayon kung yung answer mo is relevant. So, may mga ginagamit ka bang keywords or phrases na related sa topic or let's say sa image, kung image yung pinakita. So, ganun na siya. Before, hindi chine-check ng human, walang intervention ng human. But now, meron ng intervention ng human. So, bakit ba napunta sa ganun si Pearson? Kasi they wanted to really check kung relevant ba yung content na sinasabi mo, hindi ka ba basta nag-memorize lang. Kasi gusto nilang ma-ensure na very good din yung communication skills mo. So which will lead us to conclude na although templates may work, okay, in your favor, hindi na siya parang before na i-memorize mo lang siya tapos wala ka nang gagawin. Hindi na siya pwedeng gano'n. Kasi ngayon po, possible ka nang ma-penalize sa irrelevant or robotic answers. Now, coming back to the question of Sir Eric, ano yung magiging impact niya sa ating Filipino skilled workers? Siyempre, ang most PR applicants natin already working full-time. Wala rin din silang time na deeply mag-study ng English. Minsan nga yung 1 hour parang ang hirap pa isingit, 'di ba? And most of them, they rely on templates alone. Gusto nila ng shortcuts and parang magic tricks or coaching tricks. But I have to say na this 2026, ang Pearson po, it's trying to test real communication, not just yung alam mo sa tricks and strategies. Okay? So yung hidden impact dito, which is I think what people don't really realize is that pwede silang ma-stuck ngayon sa score na 50. Okay, hindi na nila mapataas kasi nga kahit you sound fluent, and then you follow the templates perfectly, pero yung content mo masyadong generic or you're not answering properly or totally nag-rely ka lang sa template without adding relevant keywords, possible masabi nung iba na, "Konti na lang ba't hindi ko pa rin siya mapasa?" Kasi nga kulang yung kanilang content na criteria para doon sa human checker, para sa Pearson. Okay, so yun. I think yun yung one of the important things na kailangan manote ng ating, ah, kababayans that templates simply cannot work in your favor alone kung dun ka lang magre-rely.
So relevance is the key takeaway natin mga ka-skilled worker at meron na po palang human checker, not only AI, like di po ba AI lang siya na pure AI po?
Yes po, sir. Actually, ang another thing pa, silent change or siguro nakita na rin nila kasi ang ating skilled workers, ating, particularly welders, kailangan kasi nila ng competence scores, 'di ba po, sir, sa, 186 visa 'pag nag-apply sila for PR. Nagkaroon ng konting changes sa competence score. So, yung writing and speaking na threshold, mas mataas na compared before. So, sa competent English, ang listening 47, reading 48, pero pagdating sa writing and speaking, kailangan nasa 50 plus yung scores mo dun sa dalawang
Yes po.
module na yon. So, even if ang overall na kailangan mo lang is 50, pwede mo pa ring ma-fail yung visa requirement kung hindi ka umabot doon sa individual score mo doon sa module na yon. Kaya dapat alam mo rin kung anong module ka mas magfo-focus kung doon ka mahina.
So yan po yung isa sa problema ng ilan pong kasamahan ko na nag-take sila ng exam for the changes po sa PTE. And then nung lumabas na po yung mga changes sa exam, yun sabi nila mas mahirap na. Narinig ko po yung ilang task, summarize written text and meron pa. So, yun po ba yung mga ilan din sa changes?
Hmm. Yung summarize ang nangyari po kasi, sir, lahat po ng question types ngayon na may kasamang content sa kanilang scoring criteria, tinaasan ng konti ni Pearson yung scores doon. So, ibig sabihin yun yung signal sa'yo na kung tinaasan nila yon, ibig sabihin mas concerned na rin sila ngayon kung gaano ka-relevant yung content mo. So, let's say po for example, for summarizes and text since binanggit ni Sir Eric, dati po may scoring criteria si SWT na lang kung tawagin ko. Merong form, merong content, grammar. Yung content po, ang points lang niya dati is 2 points. Ang ginawa po ni Pearson, ginawa na nilang 4 points. So, ibig sabihin, yun yung magsisignal sa'yo na, oy, binibigyan na nila ng importance yung content. So, ang takeaway din natin dito is, although you can still use a template, hindi na puwedeng purely i-memorize mo lang without adding real content. So, dapat you use a structure or a template para magiging hybrid answering na po, no? So, you use a template tapos mag-add ka ng real content, mag-inject ka ng keywords, kung describe image yung nakuha mo na question type, data from the image or passage, and then other relevant details. So, magbigay ka ng konting interpretation din, lalo na kung describe image. For summarization text naman, you have to ensure na makover mo talaga yung buong passage from top to bottom para ma-ensure na makuha mo yung maximum points sa content. Gano'n naman siya.
Related na rin sa sinabi ni Miss Charmaine ay tanong natin ito. How has AI-based scoring system affected PTE results today compared to before?
Okay, good question. So, before po, sir, pure AI scoring, 'no, sabi ko nga kanina, fully
Sure,
machine-based
AI.
scoring, oo. Ang focus niya heavily noon fluency, pronunciation, structure, tapos yung templates, it worked perfectly well, okay. So, you could sound good and then equivalent na yun to get a high score. But right now po, ang changes is may human validation or advanced validation. From AI na purely AI naging AI plus human or advanced validation. So, mas tinitignan na ngayon yung, content, yung originality at saka yung relevance nung, binanggit mo. Now, what changed sa results kung gano'n pala yung nangyari 'no? So, templates have become less effective if memorized mo lang lahat yung answers mo. So ano po ba yung sinasabi ko na memorize lahat ng answers? Like for example po, Sir Eric, um, iba-iba yung questions na nare-receive natin. Mag-focus lang muna tayo sa describe image na question type. Ang describe image po, you will receive 5 to 6 questions sa describe image. Now, yung ginagawa kasi nung iba, which Pearson doesn't like and tina-track down nila right now is they have a ready template and then lahat ng questions na makuha nila sa describe image, iisa lang yung gagamitin nilang template without adding relevant keywords from the image. Ni walang katiting na interpretation. Anong example ko doon? Like, minsan sabihin nila, oh, I'm seeing an image with red, orange, and blue. As in, ganun lang. Tapos another question, sasabihin nila, ganun pa rin. So, kailangan po nating iwasan yon. Although template will work, dapat mag-i-inject ka ng mga relevant keywords. So, given that said, we can say na content matters much more na po. So you have to answer the question properly and include relevant ideas. Hindi natin ina-undermine yung other criterias like fluency and pronunciation, pero you have to be very careful when you are using template. I-strategize mo yung paggamit ng template. So yun yung tinuturo din natin sa English chart.
Has the PTE exam format actually changed in 2026? Speaking, reading, writing, and
I think kinakabahan yung ibang students 'no, yung ating mga kabayan kasi baka 2026 na tapos siyempre bagong taon, so may major new format 'no. But actually po this year naman wala namang major new format changes sa 2026. Ang real big change po, it happened last year, August 7, 2025 to be exact. Ano ba yung naging changes that time? Dalawa na question types in-add po sa speaking module. Una, yung summarize group discussion and respond to a situation. So, from question types na 20 lahat, naging 22 na po. Okay? Therefore, yung test time medyo tumagal ng konti. Kung dati almost 2 hours tapos ka na sa exam, ngayon 2 hours and 15 minutes na yung ina-allot nila sa exam. Kasi nga nag-add ng dalawang question types. So, ano ba yung dalawang question types? First, summarize group discussion. Yung summarize group discussion po is may tatlong speakers nag-uusap about a certain topic. Usually po yan academic. Like for example, someone went to a study abroad trip, ganyan. Tapos nag-uusap sila. And then, ang task mo doon is you have to summarize what they have discussed by actually saying something. Mm. Gano'n ang summarize group discussion. Pangalawa naman, respond to a situation. Doon naman may ipe-present sa'yo yung situation. Like for example, you missed a class and you failed to submit your homework on time. What will you say to your professor? Parang gano'n. Tapos you have to respond para magpe-pretend ka na you're talking to someone. Gano'n naman po yung respond to a situation. So if you look at the two question types po na inad, clearly ang gusto ni Pearson makakita ng raw answers from you, not templated. Kasi yun, on the spot yun eh. You will see a situation. So hindi ka pwedeng basta-basta lang gagamit ng template. You have to understand yung situation so that you can respond appropriately. Yun. So that's one thing. Second, yun na nga, nag-introduce sila ng hybrid scoring, which is there's a human checker and plus AI capability. So nagkaroon ng better detection po of a memorized answer. So sa 2026, for all our skilled workers na kabayans, not a format change. Structure remains the same. The only thing na nag-change talaga is yung scoring behavior. Okay, may stronger content checking and more human validation. And they added two question types sa speaking and something na you have to also prepare for. Okay, lalo na yung summarize group discussion, which is one of the most important tasks po sa speaking and also your listening module.
parang mas humihirap po ngayon yung narinig ko po yung task na dagdag
Mas
pero
mahirap, Sir Eric.
with prep yes, kasi po narinig ko na rin po 'yan at sabi ko parang hirap ng dalawang task na 'yun.
Hmm.
Pero Prepare po. Siguro naman ma'am,
Opo,
kayanin
ayan.
po.
Sige
Preparation,
po.
preparation,
So,
preparation.
Sir Eric, sabihin natin sa ating mga kababayan na 'wag matakot, 'no? Kasi
Opo,
iga-guide naman natin sila. So, we know what to do. We can help
yes.
you out. Walang problema. We already experienced the exam multiple times and yun naman yung gusto kong ensure sa mga kababayan natin. Yung dalawang question types na yun, part pa rin siya ng speaking. Same pa rin yung scoring criteria. Ano yung scoring criteria? Fluency, pronunciation, and content. So kung alam natin kung paano magugustuhan ni AI and ni human yung sagot natin, yun yung tuturo natin sa classes. So they don't have to worry too much about it. Kayang-kaya pa rin.
And if you need a professional guidance from certified PTE coach, and if you need a professional PTE coach, na andyan po ang English Charlie with pre-registration. Nasa link sa description at sa pin comment po natin. Ma'am Charmaine, who is the most affected by the PTE 2026 changes? Yung mga first-timer po ba or retakers ng exam?
Hmm, actually, parang mapapaisip ka nga 'no, ano bang mas maganda maging retaker ako or maging first time taker? Dahil doon
Opo.
sa major changes 'no? Mapapaisip ka. For me, mas affected yung retakers kesa doon sa first time takers. Lalo na kung for example po sir, nag-retake sila medyo matagal na. Ay sorry, nag-take sila before, matagal na. Tapos nung magte-take sila, dun na nagkaroon ng changes. Okey. Bakit? Kasi una, their old strategy, all of a sudden nag-stop na siya mag-work, okey? So dati nung before August 2025, purely templates masasabi natin na, working. Actually nagkaroon din pala ng changes nung November 2024, nag-start na talaga doon na i-scrutinize yung using templates sir, eh. So kunyari nag-take sila let's say 2023, 2022 kasi kinailangan nila before for their visa, tapos magte-take sila this 2026, baka ma-surprise sila kasi nga nagkaroon ng, scoring changes. So before ang thinking nila templates, purely using templates will work, memorization work, gaming the system worked, okay? But now what they will see is that there will be human plus AI scoring who checks the content quality. Memorized answers are being penalized. So, syempre, ang ating retakers, may experience nila, masashock sila, sabi nila, ba't gano'n? Same strategy naman yung ginamit ko, gumana last time, ba't ngayon lower ang nakuha kong score, no? So, yan yung isa. Pangalawa, yung muscle memory, medyo disadvantage na yan. Kasi ang retakers natin, meron na silang fixed speaking patterns, meron silang memorized templates, ang banggit ko kanina. Yung mga responses nila parang automatic na po, no? Autopilot na. So, that's the problem kasi what will happen is they may keep using the same thing without realizing na mas strict na ngayon ng konti sa content kasi nga relevance matters na din, okay? Number three, they may repeat the same mistakes. For example, nakailan na silang attempt, tapos they will just focus on fluency. Walang content improvement. So, kung ang gusto nila is 50 plus yung score, baka mag-plateau doon sa mag-remain the same doon sa score kasi nga same yung ginagamit nilang technique and same din yung kino-commit nilang mistakes, okey? Tapos baka ma-fall kasi sila sir sa ano, eh, psychological trap. Ano ba yung psychological trap? Kasi ang isipin nila minsan baka konting push na lang, baka baka pasa na ako next time. So ang nangyari uulit lang sila ng uulit mag-take ng exam using the same strategy ulit. But in reality, nag-change na kasi ng konti yung exam and they have to, parang embrace it and find a way para ma-improve, 'no? How about naman yung ating first-timers? Ang maganda kasi sa kanila wala pa silang bad habits kasi mag-start pa lang sila 'di ba sir? Tapos, no template addiction, tapos no outdated strategies, wala pa silang gano'n. So they can learn agad po sir yung correct approach this 2026 from the start. That's the reason why I think mas tatamaan yung repeaters. 'Pag sinabi kong repeaters, yung mga nag-take ng siguro early 2024 or mas maaga pa nun, tapos magte-take ngayon, okay? So first-timers kasi yun nga, they have no bad habits, they can adapt faster kasi wala silang ano, eh, wala silang connotation na, "Bakit dun sa dating exam ko ganito naman, ba't ngayon hindi na? So, mas open silang i-accept kung ano ba yung PTE scoring and tamang strategy ngayon, okay? But siyempre, our first-time takers, they may still struggle with new question types and understanding yung scoring system tsaka yung time pressure, which yung mga previous na nag-take ng PTE, since na-experience na nilang umupo sa testing center, ma-experience yung buong duration ng exam, anong dapat i-prepare, gaano ba siya nakakakaba. So, may leverage ng konti doon yung retakers compared sa first-time takers. But overall, if I look at it clearly, parang mas magiging affected dito yung ating mga retakers na. That's why I highly suggest na once you attend our class, kasi we do offer free trial class po every Monday where we talk about all about PTE, like overview lang muna. What is PTE? Okay? And introduction and nagbibigay na rin kami doon ng strategies about speaking. Meron din kaming gano'n every Monday. Kasama na ng overview. Mas maganda pag umattend sila ng gano'n, open nila yung mind nila. Like, wag muna sila masyadong mag-judge na, ito yung ginagamit ko last time. Bakit ito, ganyan? Wag muna sila mag-compare. Iisipin nila na bagong learning, bagong knowledge. Ganun muna yung ano nila, maging mindset nila para mas maging open and mas maging madali sa kanila na ma-apply yung strategies na tinuturo namin sa classes. Ayun talaga siya, sir.
Magandang key takeaways po 'yan sa mga, retakers. The PTE exam, already changed, so kailangan na talagang mag-change din tayo ng approach. Yung mga first-timers po kasi parang they can start the proper way or the right way na mag-review and, makita po yung, exam. Kasi po yung maraming mga retakers nga po kahit sa mga kilala ko, they are still doing, same approach sa exam. Ang next naman pong tanong natin, self-study or coaching? Which one is more worth it for a busy tradie working hours a day?
Para sa ating mga skilled workers na laging nag-o-OT yata, katulad ni Sir Eric.
Opo,
Katulad ni Sir Eric, okey, sa ating mga ka-tradies, skilled workers, grabe kasi yung 10 hours 'no, tapos pisikalan yung work. So honestly, kung ako po yung mag-a-assess, for skilled workers, lagi po, every time, coaching wins pa din, more than self-study. Not because it's not possible na mag-self-study, I'm not saying that. Hindi siya bad thing. I also did before. Ang sinasabi ko lang is, it's not designed for your reality right now. Kasi nagwo-work ka 10 hours a day. Mind and body pagod. So ano pa yung i-o-offer mo sa sarili mo na magpa-practice ka or anything. I mean, mahirap na nga yung magpa-practice ka with a coach or magko-coaching session ka, attend ka ng coaching session. What more yung ang mangyayari is, magga-grab ka ng lahat ng online resources. Kasi for example, you came from a long shift, syempre pagod ka. So alam ni Sir Eric yan. Then ang gagawin mo, what do? We open YouTube, we open Google o kaya mga random na practice sites sa TikTok, Facebook. Tapos iba-iba yung nakikita mo, napapanood mo. Ang mangyayari, mare-realize mo, okay, ang daming strategies, kailangan kong panoorin lahat 'to. Ang daming templates, ang daming tips. And instead na mag-improve ka as a trainee, para makuha mo nga yung competence score mo for your PR application, ang mangyayari, you may feel overwhelmed. So you may start asking,
over
'di ba, which one is correct kaya dito? Alin ba yung tama? Kasi ang daming nagsasabi na ito raw yung effective, ito daw dapat puwede kang mag-add dito, dito hindi pupuwede. So, bakit iba-iba yung sinasabi nila? Ganito ba talaga yung gagawin? So, dun ka mai-stuck. Not because ikaw as a skilled worker or as a trainee is hindi capable makuha yung score na gano'n, hindi. But because walang direction, kasi kung saan-saan ka kumukuha ng online resources. Tapos baka mamaya 'pag umattend ka ng actual exam, hindi ka pa rin decided kung anong gagamitin mo. Yun yung mahirap. So, yun yung ng coaching. Kasi with coaching, it gives you a very clear system. Okay? Tapos may step-by-step approach na kaming ibinibigay sa student. And merong someone who will tell you exactly what works and what doesn't based on our own experiments. So parang sabi nga nung isa naming student from UAE ito 'no, taga Dubai siya, Actually, mag-asawa sila na kailangan mag-take ng exam. Sabi niya, na-realize daw niya na naniniwala siya sa work smart, naniniwala din siya sa study smart. So kung may nakita na siya na, review center na maganda naman yung feedback and alam niya na nagkaroon siya ng confidence na gumagana yung tinuturo nila, bakit pa niya pahirapan yung sarili niya na i-research lahat? Lalo na kung very busy person siya. So kung nagawa na nung iba at alam na nung iba kung paano gawin, then magpapaturo na lang siya. Okay kasi wala siyang time to rumble on a lot of online resources. So that's what she did. In fact, ang inavail nga niya sa amin was video course wherein nag-practice lang sila parang for a few weeks. Nanood lang sila ng nanood ng videos and then they practice on their own. And then it turned out she even got a 90 overall score. No, just because of that. Kasi very busy eh. Wala rin silang time magpa-coaching. So kung ano yung suited sa kanilang lifestyle and availability, yun yung ginamit nila. Hindi na sila naghanap pa ng maraming online resources kasi wala ng time. So especially now, coming back 2026, where it's not just about templates anymore. So kailangan po, you know how to use the templates properly. Minsan kasi ibang students, basta may template, happy na sila, pero they don't know how to use it properly. They don't know how to add the right keywords, how to sound natural and relevant. So very hard to figure out yun lahat on your own. That's exactly why we built English Charlie this way. I can say na mas practical yung binibigay namin na advice, but it doesn't mean na you just follow lahat ng materials without also making an effort na mag-add ng sarili mong keywords, interpretation. Okay, so we don't just give you materials, we give you clarity, tamang structure, ano ba yung dapat pag-focusan, okay? Kasi even though there are 22 question types sa PTE, yung iba diyan, hindi mo kailangan masyadong pagtuunan ng pansin. Hindi sila pare-pareho ng weight. Okay, so we give you clarity instead of guessing what to do next. You follow a system na already proven na nag-work, okay, by the coaches, our team, okay, na nag-research about it. So if we've done our research, if we've done our testing, bakit ikaw pa yung magre-research and magte-testing, 'di ba? So you can rely on someone or a review center na alam talaga na yung ginagawa. So if you are working long hours, like sa ating mga ka-3Ds and you don't have time to waste, 'di ba? Don't just study harder, you have to really ensure that you are studying smarter because in PTE, what I can say is yung direction talaga, tamang direction talaga and strategy beats your effort every time. Marami ng students ang nag-take ng ilang beses ng exam pero dahil wala ngang clear strategy, hindi nila nakukuha yung gusto nilang score.
So, diyan tayo magde-decide kung mag-self-study ka pa rin o magko-coaching. Kasi nabanggit na ni ma'am yung, advantages ng coaching. Kasi yung iba siguro ma'am, kaya hindi nagko-coaching, akala nila gastos lang, eh. Pero actually yung retake mas mapapagastos pa
Totoo
po.
yan, totoo
Yes po, 'di
tamang-tama ka
ba?
diyan, nakuha mo sir. Gagastos ka sa
So,
coaching na
yun po
let's
talaga
say.
yung nakikita ko pa, mag-try kayo mag-coaching, guided na kayo, sabi niyo nga ma'am,
Hmm.
clarity, not guessing.
Oo. Ang mahal
Eh,
pa naman
yung
na
iba
sir ng
nagta-try
exam
pa rin,
fee. Parang ang exam fee sir $500 na 'di ba? Almost $500 na, so my God.
yes po. Yung iba po, eh, ilang retake na po ma'am yung pinakamarami sa inyo
Hindi ko
avail
alam
ng
kung
coaching?
joke ako nung student one time kasi may na-encounter ako recently lang sabi niya 10 na daw, 10 na siya beses. So imagine sir 'no, almost $500 tapos 10 times. For me lang, sana ini-spend mo na lang yung chunk nung money na yun sa pagpapa-coach para you don't have to go through the pain and maging
Yes.
broke because of ano, paying a lot of times dahil sa exam fees mo. So ayun. 'Wag nating gayahin yung gano'n, please. Attend muna kayo ng free class natin sa English Charlie. Ipo-provide ni Sir Eric yung link dito sa YouTube video. You sign up to that.
Ma'am Charmaine, how many times should you retake the PTE if you don't pass, and when you should
Mhm.
stop?
Sir Eric, nag-take ka na ng exam, dapat bang give up? No, here's the truth. I think you don't fail PTE kasi you need more attempts, okay? Nagfe-fail ka sa PTE, lagi ko siyang binabanggit, you fail because you are repeating the same incorrect strategy. Sabi ni Sir Eric, how many times pala should I retake? So it's not the real question, dapat ang isipin mo is, did I change anything from my last attempt? Kaya if your answer is no, then kahit mag-take ka pa ng 3 times, 5 times, same result lang. Now, realistically, kung titignan natin yung journey ng ating students na repeaters, first take, pwede mo siyang gamitin as your baseline. Kasi alam mo kung ano yung kailangan mong improve. Ay, ang baba na nakuha ko sa reading. Baka dito ko need magpa-coach. O, pwede ka magpa-coach. Ay, ang baba na nakuha ko sa writing. Ay, ang baba na nakuha ko sa lahat ng module. O, kailangan mo ng overall na um, attention sa bawat module. Okay? So, alam mo ngayon kung saan mo kailangan mag-improve. Second take, kailangan na-adjust mo na yon, na-fix mo na yung areas na yon, okay? And then, for example, hindi mo pa rin nakuha, check mo pa rin kung ano pa rin yung mga weaker areas, okay? And then the third take, syempre, ang expectation, na-optimize mo na yung attempt mo kasi you already applied the right strategy based on what you've learned, okay? Now, if after 3 attempts, ito lang suggestion ko, if after 3 attempts, your score is still the same or barely improving, yun yung signal mo na mag-pause. Okay? Sabi ko pause, hindi stop. Kasi sabi ko nga, sayang naman yung PR opportunity kung pakakawalan mo just because of PTE. Lagi ko yan sinasabi. So worth it, no? Napaghirapan yung PTE kung makukuha mo naman yung permanent residency sana. Okay? So, kaya ko sinasabing pause, wag ka kasi, ang ginagawa po kasi ng ibang kabayans natin, Sir Eric, ganito. Pag bumagsak, take agad. Minsan sabihin ko, minsan magko-complain sa akin, "Ma'am, pang-apat ko na pong take, actually magiging pang-5 ko na po after 1 week." Sabi ko, "Ay ma'am, naka-book na po kayo?" "Opo, naka-book na ako." Tapos sa isip-isip ko, "Hala, bakit ka nag-book agad ma'am? Sana chineck mo muna kung ano yung mga kailangan mong gawin." Parang nagplano ka muna. Nagplano ka muna, "Okey, eto muna yung need kong aralin, ganito siguro katagal yung need kong i-estimate bago ako retake." Hindi yung take ka lang ng take, hoping to get a different or improved results, eh, wala ka namang in-improve doon sa effort mo or doon sa strategy mo. So my advice is, pause, wag ka munang mag-book agad ng another exam without really understanding kung saan yung naging problema. Kung gaano katagal mo dapat mag-prepare muna para ma-increase yung chances mo na makuha na yung required score mo. Magtanong ka muna sa amin, sa English Charlie, para mabigyan namin kayo ng assessment kung gaano katagal ka ba dapat mag-review based doon sa target score mo and based sa kung nasaan ngayon yung scores mo. Okay, based din sa availability mo. Okay, kasi siyempre nagva-vary yan, eh, minsan, "Ay meron lang po akong 1 hour, ay meron lang po akong 2 hours." If that's the case, siyempre 'pag mas maiksi yung availability mo, need mo mag-extend ng konti din sa, um, duration ng review, and sana 'wag din tutukan. Okay, like kunyari, kailangan ko ng ma-expire na yung visa ko, so kailangan ko mag-take agad, pero hindi ka pa nagpa-practice ng anything. Mauubusan ka ng time. Dapat you prepare ahead, okay? So again, ulitin ko, balik lang ako dun. That's your signal to pause, not permanently, but stop retaking blindly. Kasi baka it's no longer an attempt problem, yung strategy na talaga na kailangan nating i-check. So, instead of watching random videos, trying different templates, and guessing what to fix, ang gawin mo, understand what's wrong with the help of English Charlie. Okay? Sa amin, we help you identify saan ka na stuck, which part of your response is costing you marks kaya, and what exactly to change. So, instead of wasting money on another exam, that's $500, sabi ko nga kay Sir Eric, let's fix the strategy first. Okay? Kasi maybe it's not your English, maybe right direction lang talaga.
Yan. So, huwag tayong susuko dahil, dito lalay yung mga permanent residency natin. Eh,
Hmm.
siguro ma'am lahat naman ng bagay na worth it, talagang, paghirapan natin po na makuha. Ah, Ma'am Charmaine, what is one concrete action for Filipino skilled workers, that they can do right now in starting the preparation for their PTE exam?
So kung yung question ni Sir Eric is more of ano ba yung dapat pagfokusan kasi sabi mo sir Filipino welders, workers 'no, so I can say mga tradies,
Yes po, mga skilled worker.
skilled workers, yes. So usually ang skilled workers lagi nilang mine-message sa amin, "I need competence score," ta's se-send nila yung target score. So competence score that's more than 50 plus, okay. Hindi naman kailangan superior score, competence score yung required. Mag-focus ka doon sa important question types, okay. So kung ang gawin ninyo, this is just my recommendation also, nakikita ko nagwo-work well sa aming mga students is mag-select ka na kaagad kung saan ka magre-review. Of course, I will say, try English Charlie kasi very practical yung strategies namin and zero-based yung tinuturo namin. Ibig sabihin, nag-start tayo from the scratch. Like kung totaling wala kang idea about PTE, no problem. Meron kaming trial class every Monday. Okay? So doon matututunan mo yung overview ng PTE, ano ba yung meron sa PTE, paano ba siya tinitake, ano ba yung structure niya, ilan ba yung question types, paano ba yan ina-assess. Tapos tuturuan ka na rin nila agad sa mga tamang strategies sa speaking. Free yun, free yun lahat. Kasi ang maganda doon malalaman mo kung ano ba yung important tasks ng PTE. So, as a skilled worker, first thing, attend ka ng trial class. Okay, attend ka ng trial class para maintindihan mo kung ano yung structure ng PTE. Pangalawa, from there, you have to understand, given that may 22 question types sa PTE, you will realize na hindi naman lahat yun kailangan mong paghirapan. Meron lang mga tasks na kailangan mong i-prioritize kasi mas malaki po yung weight nila sa score mo. Eh, 'di ba ang target score mo 50 plus? Oh, baka kasi ang ma-realize mo by just focusing on those important tasks alone, kaya niya nang i-elevate yung score mo to 50 plus. And sometimes yung iba dahil akala nila 22 question types yung PTE, inaaral nila lahat, but no. That's the reason why it's very important to attend the trial class. And then once they attended the trial class and understand the important question types, you have to reach out. You have to assess yourself and reach out din sa amin if you need help kung ano ba yung bagay na plan for you. Okay, so meron tayong mga plans kasi iba-iba rin tayo, eh, 'no? So meron yung iba kaya mag-prepare within 14 days, merong yung iba kaya mag-prepare within a month, meron naman kailangan nila 60 days or even more. So kung bibigyan ko kayo ng average or ideal na preparation plan, if ang target score mo is a competence score, I highly suggest mag-allot ka ng 1 month to prepare. At least 2 weeks if you can, attend the classes, the coaching sessions, and then allot another 2 weeks to practice what you've learned. Kasi yung ginagawa ng iba minsan, nag-a-attend ng class pero di sila nagpa-practice. So ang nangyayari, hindi nila na-apply properly sa actual exam. So first, try to register sa aming live classes, which is every Monday, free po siya. Okay? Try English Charlie first. We offer trial speaking class where we give you an overview of PTE, show you how the exam actually works, and really guide you on where to start. You'll also meet our super friendly teachers. So if kabayan ka, most of them are Filipinos po. In fact, if I may share, no, if for example, let's say puro Filipinos yung nasa class, we actually even explain our concepts in Tagalog para mas klaro. Okay? So we run 3 to 4 sessions a day. Kung hindi ka available sa umaga, may gabi din kaming class, so wala ka ng excuse. That's one thing. And then second thing, you have to make sure to at least dedicate at least kung pwede 1 month to prepare for your exam. 2 weeks attending ng classes, 2 weeks ka ding mag-practice at the same time. Okay? So once you sign up with us, ipa-provide ni Sir Eric sa ating YouTube video. You'll also get free access to our practice platform and a chance to attend our trial class every Monday. I hope na makita namin kayo in our next classes. You can try us first. Sign up using the link in this video so that you can start small but you have to stay consistent and achieve your target score.
Ang mga ka-skilled worker, ibigay na ni Ma'am Charmaine ang mga kailangan nating gawin para sa PTE preparation niyo ngayong 2026. Please like and subscribe our channel para sa mga videos na ganito the link is on the description and the pin comment para sa pre-registration ng English Charlie. Ma'am Charmaine, maraming salamat po this is a fruitful interview at makakatulong sa ating mga kababayan.
Thank you, Sir Eric. Thank you po.